Hi, how's it going? So we are back with the Pokemon tier list, whatever you want to call it, where I'm ranking every Pokemon ever from Gen 1 to 9, and originally this series was to keep me preoccupied until the release of Scarlet and Violet. As of filming this audio recording, not even like any of the editing or anything, it is Monday, November 21st. So Scarlet and Violet came out 3 days ago, and this video, talking about Gen 8 Pokemon, is going to come out, I believe, on Thanksgiving, November 24th. So happy Thanksgiving if you live in America. If you don't, happy day anyway, I guess. But yeah, so Scarlet and Violet are out, which means I can now do the Gen 9 tier list video. After I see all the new Pokemon, I haven't seen all of them yet. I would like to stay spoiler free, at least till I beat the game. I kind of just started it, because, it did come out like 3 days ago. So I can try to get it out around Christmas time. Although more likely is early January, late January. I would assume January over December, but it is possible that I get it out in December. So don't scratch out the table. But right now, we have to talk about Gen 8. And Gen 8 is one of the most interesting generations because you love it and you hate it. You have Sword and Shield, people hate it. You have BDSP, people don't like it. You have Legends Arceus, people love it. It's a very, very mixed generation. Me personally, I love it. BDSP isn't the best game in the world, but I did enjoy my time with it. I have the BDSP Nuzlocke going on. Legends Arceus is phenomenal, although I'm kind of tired of trying to get the perfect decks. And Sword and Shield, for me, really good, but very flawed. It's not a perfect game, but I do enjoy it. This list, however, is going to include all of the Galar original Pokemon, so like the new guys in Sword and Shield, the regional variants, so all the Galarian forms and Galarian evolutions, the DLC Pokemon like the Galarian birds and Calyrex and the horses, the all new Pokemon added in Legends Arceus, so like all the Hisuian forms, like for example Hisuian Quillfish, as well as the evolutions of those Pokemon such as Overquill or like Weirdy or something. All of them are in this list because that is all Gen 8. So it was kind of hard to find a list, so because of that, it does not have Galarian Slowbro or Slowking on the list. So to represent those guys, we have Gmax Corviknight as Slowbro and Cinderace as Slowking. So if you see those guys on the list, they are supposed to resemble those guys in particular. But that's about all the intro stuff done. How about we jump into the bad tier? And to start us off, we have Ice-Q. Ice-Q is my least favorite Gen 8 Pokemon, because it is stupid. It is a dumb penguin. It's just a penguin with an ice cube on its head. Like, that has to be the laziest Pokemon design, at least until like freaking Flamingo or whatever. Flamigo in Gen 9 that I've already seen. Like, it is just a penguin. It has the little blue triangles, but it is just a penguin with a freaking ice cube on its head. And it doesn't get much better with the no ice face. Yes, the noise face. It's even more dumb, actually. And it had like a dumb anime moment where it was like all of the screen time for one episode. And like you were supposed to feel bad for it getting hurt. I did not feel bad for this thing. I was like, yes, fall off that cliff and break your head. I did not feel bad about it at all. And also, why doesn't it evolve? At least have like a cute little baby or like a huge emperor penguin. Like, I thought we were over the like useless non-evolving Pokemon. But apparently we're not. Especially because of, Flamingo. But we'll get to that. It's boring, I don't know what else I have to say for it. Least favorite Gen 8 Mon. That's about all I have on the list. We're going to move on to Nickit. And I got to be very careful with how I say it because, yes, that could be interpreted very wrong if I mess up my words, which I'm going to try not to do. And from day one, I thought that Nickit was very, very ugly. In fact, my original playthrough Nickit that I caught like Christmas Day, whenever I got the game, I called it ugly because it was so ugly. And simply, I just don't like how this looks. I don't like how this looks. I don't like how Thievul looks. Nope, just kind of looks ugly to me, And it's not even like it or Thievul has any, like, battle prowess. It kind of sucks because it's an early game Pokemon. So, like, Nickit, I don't like Nickit, and I don't like Thievul. So, As for Toxel, in, like, real life, not a baby person. I think they're kind of annoying and ugly or whatever. So that kind of tanks my opinion on Toxel because, I don't like the baby Pokemon. Even with that, this thing is absolutely hideous. Like, they made a baby and they were like, how ugly can we make this thing? and that's what happened to Toxel. The reason it's above Nickit is because at least Toxel evolved into something cool. I don't like Thievul, but I really, really like Toxtricity. So you know it has that going for it. And with that, we're going to move on to the not a fan tier. Thievul I already talked about with Nickit, so I'm going to skip that. Galarian Mr. Mime. I never really liked Mr. Mime, as you probably saw in the Gen 1 video, if you remember that far back in like March or whatever. Mr. Mime was in the not a fan tier. Galarian Mr. Mime's in the not a fan tier. Don't like Mr. Mime, don't like Galarian Mr. Mime. You can continue to stay in the not a fan tier, mainly because, you know, it's humanoid, it's ugly, it's bad. Whatever I said in that original video kind of applies to this too. I like it more than original Mr. Mime. So when I do that mega tier list at the end of the series, I will I'll give it that. And I do like Mr. Rhyme though. Mr. Rhyme is a vast improvement. But as for Choodle, noticing a pattern, I don't like the ugly Pokemon. I don't like Toxel, I don't like Thievul, Nickit, you know, all those guys. I don't like Choodle. Choodle is absolutely hideous. It has a huge mouth, huge head, and a weird neck that makes it just look ugly. I do like Dreadnought, but that can't save Choodle because Choodle is an abomination. And since I have like no nostalgia for Gen 8, well, little nostalgia for Gen 8, I can't say I like it because of nostalgia, you know? It's just kind of ugly and new, which are two things that just like make it completely awful. And Hisuian Avalugg is up next. The reason it's down here is because it barely changes from Avalugg. I don't remember the Gen 6 video that much, but I'm pretty sure I had a pretty good opinion on Avalugg. So when you make worse Avalugg, I'm not going to like it. Like, literally, it has a worse typing. Ice Rock is way worse than just pure ice. A worse design, because they just made it, like, muddier and have weird mouth flaps. Like, I'll just take regular Avalugg over Hisuian Avalugg any day. And, like, the Rock type doesn't help it by any means. It kind of makes it, like, yeah, it gets, like, Rock Slide, and it has a new move in, like, Glacial Stalactites. I don't remember what it was called. So, like, yeah, why would I like worse Avalugg, you know? Galarian Meowth. As one of those guys that truly just, like, never clicked with me. Why did we need Galarian Meowth and Alolan Meowth? And why did they both have to be bad? At least Berserker's cool. But, like, they are not on a hot streak with Galarian Meowth, Alolan Meowth, Alolan Persian. So I'm glad they cut off doing a Meowth every generation here. Because, good, we did not need another Meowth. Because they all turned out bad after the original Meowth. Galarian Zapdos. This is one that's going to be a bit controversial. Probably going to be in the thumbnail to get people to click on it. I don't know. I just find it disappointing. I never liked the original Zapdos. I'm going to be straight up. I think it's kind of a bad legendary. Galarian Zapdos, I do like a little bit more. But I also like it a little bit less. Because, you know, I don't have nostalgia towards it. I just don't. It just doesn't click with me, you know? It's really good in battle. And I think it has a pretty okay design. So I don't know why, but for some reason, I have to put it down here because that's what I think of it. Like, even though I really can't find any flaws with it, I just don't like it. Like, I'm sure you guys have Pokemon like that, where, yeah, it's good in battle, it has a good design, I would like it under normal circumstances, but I just don't for some reason. And actually, that's exactly the same for Greedent, obviously a little less, because Greedent is a very hated Pokemon. I don't hate it as much, but I don't like it, and kind of for the same reason as Zapdos, so I'm going to go quickly through that. And we're going to start with Zarude, which is the mythical, and you can only get it through events, which I think is the dumbest way of attaining Pokemon. And there are some dumb ways, like Porygon Z, stupid. Acelgor and Carablast evolutions, stupid. But getting a Pokemon through a real-life code is stupid, and I wish they wouldn't do it anymore if I'm completely honest. Aside from that, Zarude's kind of forgettable, kind of bad in battle, so like I'm not really in love with Zarude or anything. But now we can move on to the neutral tier. Obviously, I mentioned earlier, but the G-Max Cinderace here is supposed to be resembling Galarian Slowking because they didn't have the model in the tier list. So that's like in the middle of the list. You know, I don't really have strong feelings towards it either way. Which is all of the Pokemon in this tier I don't have strong feelings towards one way or another. A lot of groupings I noticed. So there's like the fossils, except for Dracovish, and the horses. So Spectrier and Glastrier are together in this tier. Yeah, just a lot of Pokemon that I have similar feelings towards. Enamorus is in this tier. If you remember back to the Gen 5 video, when I did the genies, I said they were all eh, and Enamorus was eh too. Well, I carried up on that. And then a lot of the more forgettable Legends Arceus Pokemon, like Hisuian Basculin, Ursaluna, Hisuian Braviary, and Hisuian Lilligant all ended up in this tier. And then some, like, random legends, like... Sorry, I just had a whole sandwich, so I'm kind of, like, swallowing it as I'm trying to talk. But, yeah, some legends like Zacian and Eternatus ended up in this tier. You know, some Pokemon I don't really have a strong feelings towards, one way or another. You know, that's the point of the neutral tier, after all. And then for the good tier, we're going to move on to now. They're all good. You know, I like them for one reason or another. There's obviously the starters, so we have like Cinderace, Sobble, and Teleon. That's it, actually. And then we have Dracovish, I mentioned in the neutral tier. Dracovish, I like it more because, you know, Ash had it in the anime, he had a little more screen time. I think it's funnier than the other ones, because the other ones to me just look kind of sad. Dracovish is kind of funny, though. And then it's obviously a menace and competitive, at least when Sword and Shield came out, and that's kind of like what I interpret it as is when it just came out. So, you know, kind of have a soft spot for that. And then the top row of Pokemon in the good tier, I actually like quite a bit. Not quite great tier worthy, but I think they are all really cool. Cursula, Basculegion, Gossifleur, Hisuian Goodra, Barraskewda, Zamazenta, Berserker, Hisuian Arcanine, Snom, and Orbeetle, I think are all phenomenal Pokemon in their own way, but I'm not, like, in love with them, so, you know, they can go in the good tier. And with that, we're going to move on to, oops, I'm messing up my papers a little bit. The great tier, yay! We're steaming through this. Steaming. This might be a shorter video than you're used to. You know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we can keep this brisk and get it done quicker. Who knows? But as for the great tier, remember G-Max Corviknight is resembling Galarian Slowbro because the TOs didn't have the sprites. Same thing with the Slowking sprite. I'm going to go over some of the usual categories I do for this tier. So obviously we have the cute babies, which is a smaller category than usual. We have Q-Fant, which is honestly because I love elephants. I think that's why Phanpy was in the great tier, I think, when I did the Gen 2 video. I don't even remember. It's been so long since that video, I don't remember where I put Phanpy. But I love elephants. They're my favorite animals, so obviously I'm going to like Q-Fant. That's why I like Caparaja too. But that's also kind of because it's, you know, a strong Pokemon. I use it on my team. I believe it was Ellie. Although I did ditch it once I got to the post-game for Zamazenta, so, you know, I guess I wasn't that attached. And then we have Hisuian Growlithe. I think is very cute. I like it more than regular Growlithe, just like I like Hisuian Arcanine more than regular Arcanine, despite it having a far worse typing. I think it has a much cooler design, being all ancient and stuff. Sinistea, because Poltergeist is my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon. I know, sounds weird, but I will get there in time. And then Corsola, I think, is a great, fantastic regional variant, and kind of like the poster child for what I want in regional variants. Like things that branch out to real lore, because obviously it's like the coral trees that they kill and they grow back dead and they haunt people. So cool. It keeps in the original idea of the Corsola family being coral and adds ghost type to it and makes it make sense. It's so cool. I wish all regional variants could be this cool instead of just being like Alolan Diglett, bless him, just having like 3 strands of hair on his head. And I get it's like Volcano Ash, but like, you know, when you have something like Galarian Corsola, I guess Corsola too to an extent, it's just like so much cooler of an idea. Now we're going to get on to the biggest category by far, the great designs. So these are Pokemon that I usually like the designs of, or I think they're strong in battle, or maybe even both, who knows. Clear my throat for this one. We have Duraludon, Centiskorch, Overquill, who has a great name and was a far needed Evo for Quillfish, and I think they did a very good job for what they were doing with like the ancient stuff. Dreadnought's cool. Hisuian Zoroark is one of the best, if not the best, besides maybe Alolan Dugtrio, but that's kind of my bias anyway. In terms of like coolness factor, it is probably my favorite. It's so cool. I am so edgy, I know. You're going to say that with Galarian Moltres in a second. It is such a cool design. Normal Ghost, Zoroark, two like things that mesh so well together. And oh, I love Hisuian Zoroark. And I called it, I had one in Legends Arceus I called it Azure. Very fancy, I know. We have Dragapult, surprise, I like the freaking pseudo-legendary. Never would have seen that one coming. Colossal I used on my team, plus it was a good egg hatcher for both times I played through Sword and Shield, actually. Corviknight, the real one, I think is the second best bird behind Talonflame. Yeah, I don't think it's close. I think it's definitely confirmed second. I have not seen the bird for Scarlet and Violet yet, so maybe it's better. Who honestly knows? But for right now, second best. Regidrago, really damn cool. I did not like it when it came out. I love it now. I think Regidrago has a fantastic design. I like it more than Regirock, who of the original three was probably my favorite. Not as much as Regieleki, but the two new Regis is introduced this gen. So goddamn cool. But yeah, we have Runerigus, Toxtricity, I already mentioned earlier. Frostmoth is elegant and gorgeous. And then Copperage I mentioned with the elephant earlier. And then the Gigantamax Corviknight representing Galarian Slowbro. I actually really like Galarian Slowbro. I think it's a really cool design with like the Mega Man arm and stuff, Cool stuff. And then there's a couple of miscellaneous, creatures that ended up in this tier. Kind of don't really fit in either of the two categories I just mentioned. Thwackey is obviously the middle stage of the Grookey line, which is my preferred line of that region. So that's why I like it. Plus, it's a grass type. I love me some grass types. And that's all I have to say for that. And then we have Galarian Articuno. I love the design of Galarian Articuno. I love regular Articuno, so it makes sense. It's really a shame. I don't know why I don't like Galarian Zapdos. I think Articuno and Moltres have absolutely phenomenal, fantastic designs. And I think that Zapdos is well designed. I just don't know why I don't like it. I still don't understand why I don't like that Pokemon. It's weird, okay? I'm not going to talk about that anymore, so I don't get confused. And I'm having reflux right now. Sorry about that. We have Hisuian Samurott, and how did this happen? So, before Legends Arceus came out, I obviously knew that Oshawott was going to be in the game as one of the starters. And I was like, no way in hell I'm picking it. I hate Samurott, and I'm probably going to hate the regional variant too. And for a while, Samurott was my least favorite fully evolved starter. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's probably either like Serperior or Infernape or one of those guys. That's probably my least favorite now. Maybe Incineroar. I never cared for Cinderace. One of those guys. But Samurott is off my bad list because Hisuian Samurott is so cool. I love Hisuian Samurott because it's such a subtle difference, They changed the white parts to black and red. But it's a world of difference. The dark type completes Samurott. Pure water Samurott, garbage. Water dark Samurott, awesome. They saved Samurott this gen, and I'm glad to say I like Samurott now. Oshawott, I just don't like Oshawott that much. Duott's still cool. Samurott, though, in my good books. And then for the last one, we have Eldegoss. It's simple. It's a grass type. I love me some grass types. And with that, I think we can move on to the best of the best here for the final time before Gen 9. Woo. Okay, so starts off, we have Regieleki. And Regieleki is my favorite Regi, obviously. One of my favorite legendaries, obviously. And it's really good in battle. I used it in my only ever Pokemon Showdown battle team. I believe I had Chandelure, Regieleki, Rillaboom, Alola Ninetales, Azumarill, and God, who else was in there? I don't remember the last guy. Dang, that sucks. Because it's obviously Chandelure, Rillaboom, Regieleki, Azumarill, Alola Ninetales, Regieleki. I don't know. I probably said all 6 at one point. I'm not going to worry about that. But I used it in Showdown. Very good. It only gets electric type moves, which is a little annoying. But, you look past that because it's so goddamn fast. And I just overall think it has the best designed Regi. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's the best designed Regi, essentially. I also really like how it's like flowing electricity. I think that's really cool. Rillaboom's up next. Obviously my starter of choice for Gen 8. I like it, but I do like Grookey more. I like the gorilla with the grass hair. I think that's cool, but I also kind of think they could have done better. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Rillaboom, but I wish they did something else. I wish I took a different direction with it, but with what we got, I do like it. I hunted for a shiny Grookey, and God bless my soul. Jesus Christ, that took so long. It has definitely put me off from Masuda methoding anything else for the meantime. It took like 17,000 encounters, and to any like advanced shiny hunter that's going to sound like nothing, But to me, who had 2 other Masuda Method shiny hunts that took 100 eggs and 42 eggs, this was freaking hell. But I am glad I finished it before Scarlet and Violet. And now I have Tangerine, the shiny Rillaboom, who is hidden ability because thank God for ability patch. And currently in my shield save file, which I'm not going back to anytime soon. And then once again, I did use it on Showdown, as I already mentioned earlier. Moving on to Galarian Moltres. God damn it, this is one of the ones that you just gotta love. Like, it is such an edgy Pokemon. It is literally black and red flame Moltres. I think I was impartial towards regular Moltres in the original video. I stand by that. But this is so goddamn cool. I know I just said Zoroark had to have been my favorite form. No, this is my favorite form. I love Galarian Moltres. It might be my favorite legendary. I do really like Groudon. I really like, who else do I like? I really like Solgaleo, but I wouldn't say I like it more than Galarian Moltres. It probably is my favorite legendary, if I'm honest. Which is interesting. Definitely the best bird, even out of like the original ones. I think it's so cool. Really cool. I wish it was better in battle. It has the worst ability of the 3, but you know, that's fine. I love Galarian Moltres, just for the design alone. Where's the next list? Oh, here it is, smallest. So now we have Grookey. Very cute. Love me, my monkey boy. I can't believe when Sword and Shield came out, I almost went Sobble. I was like, I do like Sobble. But then I switched my mind when I realized it wasn't going to turn into a water ghost type. And I'm so glad I did, because I love my Grookey boy. Obviously, I told you I hunted like over 1,700 resets. And obviously, I love me my grass starters. So of course, I'm going to pick the Grass Monkey, just like I picked Sprigatito. But that is for next video. And let's move on to Poltegeist. And Poltegeist is one of the more interesting Pokemon I have to talk about. I don't love it for like the concept or the design. You know, it's a Ponta teacup, you know, that's expected. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, sure. It got cool lore, you know, it sucks your soul if you drink the tea. Makes sense. But that's not why I love it. This was my first taste of Gen 8. I remember the September of 2019 Direct coming out, and everybody being like, this sucked, and I agree. Looking back on it, that Direct was kind of awful. You know, we got Terry for Smash, the Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer, which was kind of limited in what it had. But in that trailer, we did get Poltegeist. And that was my first true love of Gen 8. I was like, yes, that's on my team. Absolutely yes. And then I found it in the Glimwood Tangle. And I was like, yes. And then I accidentally killed it. And I spent like 20 minutes trying to find it back. And I was like, yes. And then I looked up how to get the cracked pot. And I was so happy. I wonder if I saw that video of me evolving it on the Switch. It is very likely. And then obviously later, I hunted it as my first ever Masuda Method hunt. With 100 eggs. Pretty good. Not too shabby. And now I have my shiny Poltegeist and Sword and Shield called Yogurt. And then my original one called Pew, which is level 100. And I don't know, man. I just love Poltegeist, okay? I don't know why. Like, I really shouldn't have been drawn to Poltegeist of all things. But I really am. I really love Poltegeist. However, there is one Pokemon that tops Poltegeist. And it's Hisuian Decidueye. Which, I mean, this one's kind of a cheating. If I had to say my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon, I would say Poltegeist. Because I do not really consider Hisuian Decidueye Gen 8 Pokemon. Because Decidueye itself is a Gen 7 Pokemon, and that already topped my Gen 7 list. Rowlet is my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. But goddamn, I love Hisuian Decidueye. It is so cool. The color scheme, the typing, the moves. Like the red autumn leaves, the little Japanese straw hat. It's all so cool, and it's all so fitting for Legends Arceus, you know? Obviously, it was my starter. Of course it was. It's Rowlet. Are you serious? Albert. Shoutouts to the Owl House. That's where I got the name from. Go watch Smash Time 2. That's where I talk about shows like that. But yeah, really good color scheme. Really love Hisuian Decidueye. And I love the color scheme. The typing, grass fighting. Not the best typing, you know, it's Chestnut's typing. Kind of something that held that Pokemon back for me. But it works really well here. The fact it's more of a physical, you know, get in your face, triple kick, boom, boom, boom kind of thing. over regular Alolan Decidueyes, like shoot the bow from a long distance, trap you in battle kind of thing. I definitely like it more than regular Decidueye. If I like it more than Rowlet is still up for debate, probably not. But maybe one day in the future that'll change, when it has more time to truly have more time to just like simmer. I'm not sure if that's the right word, because Hisuian Decidueye is not even a year old yet, so who knows. But that is all of the Gen 8 Pokemon, which means the next time I do a video, it would either be Gen 9, if I get that out on time, or it will be the Mega and Gigantamax forms, which will be a shorter video because obviously there's less to go over. I don't know which one's going to come. You don't know which one's going to come. Maybe I'll post on the community tab and I'll have you guys vote, even though you guys are going to pick Gen 9, but who knows? There is going to be one in December. Whether it's Gen 9 or not is still up in the air, but there will be one, and I hope you guys will be there for it. But this wraps up the November one, Gen 8. Boom, we're on Pokemon's home month. Usually releases in November, unless you're Legends Arceus, which is a different story. But usually it releases in November. And I think that's all I have to say. I really love this series. I'm really glad that you guys love this series. The Gen 7 video is the most popular video on my channel, which is impressive. I never thought that would be the case. But anyways, to keep this 26-minute video brief, which might be the longest Pokemon tier list video we've done so far, which is interesting, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and the series up to this point. I can't wait to do the video on Gen 9. Depends if I do that filler video first, but either way, I will be doing the Megas and Gigantamax forms. It just matters if it's in December or January, or what's the whole deal with that. But that's for me to worry about, and for you to enjoy. But as for right now, I need to go edit this and get this out before Thanksgiving. So, thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves. Mental health is important. And I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.